excellent. Getting a couple Scourges in there and getting that Scout in there, seeing how many Stargates he has. Basically, both players have to try and decide if they really want to invest in air superiority. At this point, with only 3 or 4 Corsairs in the air, July still could theoretically clamp down and take air superiority from BackHo. But you have to make that decision like basically right now. And since he is getting Hydralisk, I don't think that he's probably going to do that. He's probably just going to go for Hydralisk now. And I think that's the wise choice because BackHo, basically if he'd gotten Mutalisks out and such a little bit earlier, he might have been able to take that air superiority away since BackHo didn't get the second Stargate. Given, oh, very nice! Coming with Scourges from both sides. Excellent play by JulyZerg, and that is honestly the reason, those are the little things that have kept him in the OSL this long. He's been playing intelligently and doing those little elite tricks like that. Not as much as you might expect from, you know, a really, really strong player like Jaedong in his prime or something like that, but enough that obviously he has gotten this far in the tournament. And so if he can keep up that level of play, he's going to be able to defeat BackHo probably in the long run. The thing is now, JulyZerg has his 4th base now, and that's probably going to be BackHo's first target. In fact, he is moving a little brute squad out to try and take that base out. So July is going to need to defend that base if he's going to survive in the long run. He sees that. He's going to try and intercept. No, JulyZerg doesn't see the force moving towards that base. He's actually going to move up north and try for some sort of a counter on BackHo's front door. BackHo does not have High Templar yet, so these Hydralisks will do very well. But we'll see if this actually works. I think BackHo has way too many Zealots in the front here.
The other thing is BackHo does have +1 upgrades on those Zealots, but he has got his Force split, and July might be able to take the Forge down here, which will obviously hurt BackHo if July can do that. He's managed to pick off one of the Photon Cannons, and now July is actually getting in within range, so BackHo has killed July's hatchery meanwhile, so July has launched that hatchery. BackHo bringing all the probes out, so July's going to be able to do significant damage, and July's killed all of the Photon Cannons, and BackHo's in huge trouble here because he's going to lose his Forge. He's lost his front door. July's killed almost all of the probes that BackHo's natural, and he's now taken on that ramp. I think BackHo did have the Templar Archives up, so maybe he can get a DT out. July doesn't have an Overlord. But yeah, July has now gotten in. No, he's focusing the probes down, and July just making a massacre of these. And I think July actually got it right when I think he did see BackHo going for that hatchery, and he decided to go for the counter, realizing that BackHo had committed too many of his forces to be able to hold his defense. And it was a move of genius counter-attacking by JulyZerg, and he's effectively eliminated BackHo again in this game. Now he's taken out that Expo. That's going to hurt BackHo. Of course, BackHo's got the other Expo, but not only has he killed the Nexus, more important, July morphing a couple of Hydralisk Lurkers, but more importantly, by sacrificing that hatchery, July has actually managed to kill at least a dozen of BackHo's probes. I would say at least a full control group of probes went down in that massacre, in that turkey shoot by July. And now July in a very, very strong position. DT just now out for BackHo, a bit late. Meanwhile, July is also getting out the Lurkers. I don't think they'll be able to do any damage. They'll probably get taken out. But BackHo has got about 6 Corsairs up, so he's going to try and counter on the Overlords. I think July is in a decent enough position to be able to defend these. He's got his second group of Hydralisks popping out. And maybe that was careless of BackHo. While July's Hydralisks were in his base, he should have been, while defending, simultaneously using his Corsairs to try and counter and kill July's Overlords while July didn't have a lot of ground troops at home. And obviously, I don't know why he didn't do that, but maybe that's the difference in skill level between the great players and the not-so-great players. Well, if he did, he wasn't very effective at it. Yeah. So July in a very strong position now, and I would put good money on July to take this game.
Yeah, JulyZerg, he wasn't rallying his new Hydralisks to BackHo's base. He still had them rallied at his choke point, and so he had his extra Hydralisks coming out to protect his Overlords there. But I think I saw on the minimap. But now he's actually losing a few Overlords though, kind of keeping them away from his Hydralisks and moving a second group of Hydralisks out, leaving his Overlords a little bit open. But now he's going to come and siege BackHo's front door again. BackHo now with Lurkers. BackHo still doesn't have Templar out. This is looking absolutely horrible. BackHo not engaging with his Zealots, keeping his Zealots back. And so the cannons are just going down to concentrate on Hydralisk fire. The Hydralisk not having anything to concentrate on except for those. And JulyZerg in his base again. I don't even think BackHo has observers right now. He doesn't have observers for these. If he does, I haven't seen them yet. I'm sorry. But those cannons are what he seems to be depending on to detect those Lurkers. And now those Lurkers are going to be able to protect that door there. And JulyZerg has completely wiped out that second base again. This time he actually did take out the Forge. And now he has breached BackHo's ramp. I don't think there's any way BackHo can come back from this. JulyZerg losing an Overlord at his front door, but I don't think that's going to matter. I think JulyZerg is doing far more damage to BackHo than vice versa. And in a moment, he's going to start taking out BackHo's gateways, and that will be game as soon as he loses it. And BackHo realizing he's been completely breached. GG's. Wow, excellent, brilliant attack. And you're right, I think that was the best move, and I didn't think so at first, but I proved to be wrong that going and doing a counterattack while BackHo's entire forces basically were out at his expansion July was able to do a lot more damage and take out a lot more stuff, and really all July lost was that one hatchery, 300 minerals. So brilliantly played, brilliantly strategized by JulyZerg, taking game 2 up 2 games to 0 now over BackHo.
Yeah, it was a great strategy by July. Not only was it a great strategy, I think you could see July's personality shining through. That is the kind of StarCraft player he is, and that is why so many people find our JulyZerg fans, and myself included, find him so exciting a player. A different Zerg player who might have been just as good, maybe Jaedong or maybe even Savior, would have wanted to defend, would have been more macro-oriented and wanted to defend that hatchery. July always goes for the jugular, always goes for the throat. He's prepared to do the unexpected and attack his opponents when his opponents don't expect him to, and that's why he catches them off guard. And BackHo now praying for mercy from the God of War. He will get none. He will be smited, I feel, in the next game, and will be out. But yeah, I think you did make a very key observation. BackHo did not have observers. He did not put down a robotics facility at all in that game. He chose to go for a ground force primarily. He didn't go for Reaver Serre strategy. And because he didn't have observers, he had no answer to those lurkers. And once July was able to get those lurkers in position, he was just able to overpower. And so far, this has been a completely one-sided contest. And if you guys listen to my podcast, this is what I predicted. July destroying BackHo and showing how good or not BackHo really is, and I think July has shown that BackHo really hasn't really earned his place in the semifinal. Yeah,
and just to clarify, for those of you that might be listening on YouTube or what have you, we actually did just publish we just put together a podcast with myself, Klazart, Diggity, JWD, and Psionic Reaver, all of us working together on that, and that was a lot of fun, and that should be out. Well, for those of you that are listening live, it should be out basically either later today or tomorrow based on whatever time zone you're in. Okay, so again, to conserve, all right, we're going to get some Wonder Girls on the YouTube video. This is a Korean commercial. So, any case, I'm going to go ahead and stop here for the sake of recording. I've got 30% battery left on my laptop, so I've got to make it last through the rest of this set. Although,
this is going to cut it close.
Hopefully, it won't be very long of a set. I'm looking forward to a 3-0 from July, but we will see if BackHo can pull something out of his hat. Thanks for listening.